Have you ever felt your partner pulling away and you can't tell what's really happening? Maybe they're quieter than usual. Maybe texts slow down. Maybe the warmth that once felt so easy now feels distant. Hi, I'm Chip. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist here to help you flourish in relationships and in life. Emily was clearly angry. As they sat on the couch, she turned from facing me to turning her body and her frustration toward Mark, her husband, and said, "You always do this. You always pull away from me, and I have no idea of what we're doing here. You couldn't care less about me." I was working with Emily and Mark, names and circumstances changed, as their couples therapist. They came to me for help, and they were experiencing this big sense of disconnection in their relationship. For Emily, as she felt alone, there were so many questions that came to her. I mean, it was like an entire battalion of questions marching up to her one after another. Did I do something wrong? Did he stop caring for me? Is this the beginning of the end? If you've been there, you're not alone. In fact, this moment, when one partner withdraws, is one of the most common pain points I see in couples therapy. And understanding what's really going on underneath, it can make all the difference. This video is me coming alongside emotional pursuers everywhere. So, how do you know if you are more of the emotional pursuer? Well, that means whether you're a man or a woman, it feels like you are the one noticing when there's a disconnect. By the way, it is super annoying that the other person isn't pointing it out too. I mean, isn't this completely obvious? It makes you think the other person doesn't care. Am I right? But no, it's you. You are the one who gets the not so fun job of pointing out that disconnect in the relationship, that something's going wrong. And when you do, you get this message. And here's the message: hey, you're making something out of nothing. Stop bringing everybody down. You're too much. You're too loud. You're too messy. You're too crazy. And so now, here you are, misunderstood by the person who seems to tell you with their words and actions that they are pulling away from you. And now what happens? Your nervous system takes over to meet the demands of the threat. Oh, no, you don't. You don't pull away from me. Listen to me. And then the parts come forward that the later version of yourself feels kind of ashamed by. And those parts come out. You chase, you turn up the volume more, you criticize, or maybe you've gotten to the point where you feel yourself shutting down entirely. So let's start with the storm in the pursuer, what it feels like when they pull away. We'll take a moment for you as a pursuer to understand yourself better and to share with your spouse who is probably more of a withdrawer. And here's my message to you as withdrawers. Withdrawers, you are the ones trying to keep the peace when the storm hits. You batten down the hatches and then you get pummeled for it. Hang in there, friend. I know it feels like you can never make your pursuer happy, but what you are about to hear is real. It may feel made up because all you see is the anger, but what I'm about to tell you, I have heard it from too many pursuers, like the one that you love, not to believe it is true. The only other explanation I can think of is that pursuers everywhere get together for some massive, giant secret conference where they all agree on lots of ways to pick fights and let you know that you're blowing it. Well, maybe. Or maybe the pattern you both have that makes you shut down in the storm makes your beloved turn up the volume. Because here's my message to pursuers: your withdrawer probably has no idea about the tempest that's going on inside of you. And because things go so fast, it's pretty hard for you to know, too. For Emily, when Mark pulls away, it stirs up a storm inside of her. It isn't just a thought in her head. She feels it in her body. Her stomach is in a knot. She feels it in her chest. Her body screams at her to do something, anything. It is a terrible, anxious feeling that tells her, hey, danger, you need to fix this right now. Emily gets the message, you're not such a priority to me anymore, from the person who's most important to her. The feeling she gets instantly is pain. She might slow down, which presents her with the excruciating question, why doesn't my person want me? Or her nervous system can snatch her up into a pace of protest as she says, hey, you can't treat me like this. So, what do I do in this moment as their couples therapist? Well, I want to know what starts the storm inside Emily to begin with. I slow her down so we can understand what is underneath all of the emotions. Because I know as sure as rain falls from the sky, there is something tender and sacred under all that internal pain. And it's this: Mark, do I matter to you? It hurts when I feel you pull away. It scares me to think I am way out here wanting you, and maybe you're just doing fine, doing your own thing. We were created for connection, not distance. And when that bond feels threatened, our nervous system lights up like a Christmas tree. We start scanning for signs of rejection. In this place, Emily is experiencing the torment of attachment distress, that deep instinctive fear of disconnection that triggers a response that she can't ignore. And in this place, it's horrible and it's lonely. But at least here, I don't have to be smacked with that message that you don't want me, and I'm making things worse by bringing it up. So here's my message to withdrawers: let's have some compassion for you and the distance in the withdrawer. What is happening inside you when all your partner sees is your silence and all they experience is your distance? Well, to be perfectly honest, if your pursuer has just been mean to you, well, sure, I might pull away because, hey, you just hurt me. You don't get to keep doing that to me. If you're going to do that thing to me that hurts me that I can't stand, maybe you can get a taste of your own medicine that you don't like with a big spoonful of meh. So, yes, that's what the angry part of me says pretty strongly. But there's something else at play here. Whether you just attacked me or whether I'm feeling uncertain, something tells me there's a place here that's safe and a place that's not safe. And experience tells me the safe place is where the storm is calmer. So, for Mark and emotional withdrawers everywhere, the stimulus that tells you to seek shelter could be any number of factors. Here are three. One, you feel emotionally overwhelmed and you don't know how to respond. Pursuers, don't roll your eyes at this. I know you're thinking, well, it's just so easy. Just engage with me. But it isn't easy for us as withdrawers. Pursuers, think of this. Think of some situation where you were in way over your head. Where are you? Have you just been pulled onto the dance floor and you're a terrible dancer? Or maybe it's standing in front of an audience and that feeling of terror hits you. As you experience this cold sweat, everyone watches you as you stumble over your words, you're ill equipped, and you're outgunned. And now, in this situation, the most important person to you is waiting on you with irritation in their eyes, and you don't know what to do. Welcome, pursuers, to Withdrawer Land, where every ride breaks down and every carnival game is unwinnable. Withdrawers, you hear the grumbling of a conflict approaching, and no matter what you say, it's going to trigger it. Do I try to bring calm to the situation? I could say, hey, it's okay. Everything is going to be okay. But that could send you the message that I only want you when you're not distressed, which is going to aggravate you. Or do I try to reassure you by introducing a counterpoint? Hey, I think you think I am letting you down here, but look at all the other ways I show up for you. Well, that might just prompt you to think I'm dismissing your concerns. So here I am, now shackled to this fork in the road because any path I see leads to a cliff or a cave with a boogeyman in it. Three, I have learned, maybe even as a kid, that when I shut down, it may be painfully lonely, but at least people are less likely to go away bleeding. I'm willing to try to take the blows of anger that the storm unleashes, if that means the storm eventually calms. Then I know it's safe to come out again. So I just leave it be. It is futile to try to confront or appease the storm. All I can do is provoke it to anger, so I will just go on with life. As a therapist, I see this as a pattern, not a personality flaw. One person pursues because they're scared of losing connection, the other withdraws because they're scared of doing more damage. Both are longing for peace, and they go about it differently, which can kick up all the worst fears of their spouses. Let's give pursuers a next step. If your partner pulls away, your instinct might be to chase harder, to demand reassurance. Or if that doesn't work, you might give up and go numb. Neither one really gets you what you want. Instead, I encourage you to do three things. Pause before reacting. Take a breath. For Emily, it would be so helpful if she was open to the message: this distance doesn't necessarily mean rejection, it might be about fear. It might mean that Mark feels something isn't quite right, and so he goes quiet. Name what's happening calmly. Try saying, I notice you seem quieter lately, and it's hard for me because I value our connection. That statement shares your emotion without accusation. Stay curious. Ask, can you tell me what's going on inside right now? Then listen, because true safety comes from understanding, not fixing. If you're the withdrawer, it could be that all of this makes you very uncomfortable. Don't give up. And don't believe that because you shut down, that means you're broken or unloving. It just likely means that you feel conflict and that feels dangerous and you lock up. Here's what you can do: let your partner know that you're not rejecting them, you're just feeling overwhelmed. Share the emotion under the shutdown. Here's my hope for Mark. That would be for him to say to Emily, I want to talk, but I get scared I'll say something wrong and make it worse. That kind of vulnerability can transform a fight into a healing moment. You don't have to be perfect to love well. You just have to be willing to stay present. So if your partner pulls away, pause before assuming the worst. Look beneath the surface. There's almost always a tender story under the storm and within the distance. When we respond with curiosity and care, not control, we make room for reconnection, the kind that builds trust and healing over time. Hey, I'm rooting for you.